got to push the right button. Stumbling around in the dark and boom. I knew it would work sooner or later. If I'm starting off on a Tuesday night in the Bottom of the Glass Nation show with all of my friends, and I'm already holding the whiskey glass in my hand, what kind of a day do you think I've had? Well, where to begin? To start at the beginning and go to the end and let the middle fill itself in, I always say. Thank you very much for stopping by, hanging out. Let's start with a drink. It might be one of those shows. It's certainly been one of those days. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's not goodbye, it's good morning. Drink now. Okay. Who drank with? Oh, there we go. There's my friend. Mike Dawson, Carl Gerard. The thing is going by. Mary Mathis in here. 3 shots of whiskey. There's me kid. There we go. That's one of them top knots. Has got some coffee, and that's okay. We did, just a couple nights ago, we did, in fact, it was last night, we did a members only because you guys wanted an update on VidCon and some directions on where we're going with Gen X Talks. I wasn't going to sit there and bore you with statistics and, well, chart number 4 shows that the arrow has increased 0.4 from the month before. No, none of that shit. I was trying to give you some real nuts and bolts stuff on that. And then I went to give you some real nuts and bolts stuff tonight. Some of it I got figured out, and then I got all these things over here to drag into the pictures, but I forgot to drag them in the pictures, which means I can't show them. But then the kid runs down and says, "Dad, this is how you do it. Even when people are there, you can still do it. Just put the stuff over there." It's tough, man. I don't like how I do that. My day wasn't too bad. There's a lot of stuff in the world, but for the most part, a lot of the things that were happening at 5 o'clock, it was status quo by 6 o'clock. Would you agree? Good. Glad you're coming along with me on that. Let me jump over here. We have the kid between the sheets tonight, the tablets. The shoeless one gifted 5 memberships. And who got those? Zerfix24, Jason Mitchell, Jeff B., Thomas Biala, and Dagnar D. Carl Gerard, our famous Frenchman. He gave out 5. Keith Relly, Tanya Burris, Craig Downing, Bubba Shinobi, and Jim Nirvana. Disney Kid, member for 13 months. Disney Kid has got his big red one. Anytime you guys see somebody go by with that big red one, they put in their time. You got to give them a little respect, got a tip of the hat, if you know what I'm saying. For those of you who don't know, the sheets, when I say, look, let me look between the sheets, let me check between the sheets, Google Sheets or Google Docs or whatever, it's on a monitor next to me over here, to my left, your right. And then when there's stuff that you got, because if I'm talking up here, I can't see what you're writing over in the comment section. So there's some gifted and talented and strange individuals that if you say something interesting, they'll copy and paste it, and I'll get to it later. If it's something that I'm talking about currently, they'll put it in blue at the top of the screen, and that way I can get to them while we're still on topic. You with me? Good. Even if you're not. So, yeah. The Gen X Talk staff is so fucking dumb. And I mean that with every ounce of love that I can share. I discovered, I was in National Day. You guys remember the National Day when we used to call the programs by what National Day it was? Because there's so many different choices. Each day is it's National Light Bulb Day. It's National Backwards Cap Day. It's National Electrical Cord Day. The dumbest things ever, but if you want to do it, there's a day for it. So we started making fun of that a couple years ago, and we got away from it a little bit because we had better things to waste our brain cells on, like whiskey. And tonight I thought, hey, just go see what's out there. Wouldn't you know it, today is National Pineapple Day. And I thought, well, we got to do that. We have our very own pineapple here at Gen X Talks, do we not? Yes, we do. So I got a picture, and I said, I would love to crop this picture behind the picture to show the picture. If I could get the picture of Trippy Pineapple, I'd love to put him. If you guys look at the thumbnail, the cover picture for coming into the program tonight, it's a yellow, and it's got a glass of pineapple juice, and behind it partially is a pineapple, and I was going to put Trippy Pineapple's logo there. So I said, does anybody have Trippy Pineapple's logo? Nobody had it. Amazingly. And all the stuff that floats around with you guys on staff. And you guys have all the shit on me ready to go. If I said, someone show a picture of me in a Santa hat, boom, you'd have it. Someone show a picture of me last summer out back naked with a sheep. Boom, somebody's got it. But if I ask you for something common, like a picture of Trippy Pineapple's logo that's everywhere on the internet, everyone just sits down and talk about it. And then Lionheart gives me a full picture of the person. I went, not the person, dumb shit, the logo. Well, by then it was too late. I was cutting on time and I didn't have time to splice it in. And then somebody sends it. I'm like, all right, I'll try. So I'm using my phone on my finger like this, and somebody sends another one. I'm like, oh, God damn, because it fucks up what you're doing on your phone when you're trying to cut and edit. And then in the staff thread, they put up a picture of a pineapple with a gun shooting, and then Two Bear puts up his picture with Two Bear shooting, and it just kept until I finally said, okay, I can't. You guys are not going to let me do this. I can't fucking do it. So I just quit and went on. It was going to be spectacular, but our juvenile staff department can't fucking lay off the trigger long enough for me to get my job done. So you get the regular thing. It was going to be a Trippy Dippy Pineapple Day, but now it's just a Trippy Pineapple Day because staff couldn't get their shit done soon enough, and when they finally did, they just kept blowing up the thread with all the bullshit. You know what? I don't care. I don't even care anymore. It's your guys' loss, not mine. In my head, I can see the objects clearly, and it looks wonderful, and I'm enjoying it, and you guys aren't. And why? Thank a staff member. Thank a moderator right now. Thank the moderators, because you ain't going to see it. Why? Because of them. You're welcome, America. And Denmark's pissed. Don't forget that. All right. So, let's see. Where am I at? Over here. Okay. There's some stuff going on the sheets. We'll get to those in a minute. And so, yeah, that was... I don't know if I can do that. I should try to do that. Let me see if I can move that out of the way. I will try something, but there is no guarantee this is going to work. And if it does work, it's going to be kind of weird. So bear with me. I'm going to try something here. So I lean on us. I grab those. That's what it is. Grab those. Okay. Stand by. Everybody hold on. Now I got to go to this screen, and then I got to grab these, and then I got to put them in here, and then it says okay. And then when it loads everything in, I got to wait for it to go up on top, which it does. Then I got to go back to it in a second once it loads in. And then hold on, I can get there. And then I got to go through and click everything. Click off, 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 so you guys can't see it. And then we can come back to it. Okay, so now it's all there. Very good. We snuck some of those in. I don't know which order they're in, but we snuck them in. Okay. I need another drink. Don't make me drink alone. I can't do a microphone check just yet. There's still whiskey in here. But I think starting off after this frustrating moment from staff, yeah, I think we need to continue drinking. And staff members should not be allowed to drink right now. No. Shame. Shame on all of them, except for the kid because he doesn't drink. But he can be that irritating, which makes me drink. So, yeah, the hell with him, too. Okay. So let me get to a couple questions here you guys had. You guys have really been beating the shit out of me on something, and I'll talk about it right now. You guys keep asking, because you remember back in the day, we used to have really cool stories from my youth, Gen X mom's youth, and then stories of us together. And some of them were adventurous stories. Some of them were naked run around the street stories. Some of them were scary stories. And you noticed, obviously, you've noticed that we've pulled back on those. Well, the Sun Valley Fox joined the Bottom of the Glass Nation. Well, not technically. He's not a member. He just shows up. Doesn't text in the thread, but he's here. He voices his opinion from afar. And he is my brother-in-law. He is my wife's brother. He's Gen X mom's older brother. So we really felt odd about telling some of those stories. Not that he doesn't have way worse stories than I'm ever going to have. Oh, he certainly does. But he's also not broadcasting them in front of the rest of his family. So we got to be careful about that. That's why. But let me help you out. For all of you that have been emailing and begging for stories and stuff, and there's tons still left, I have to restrain members-only live streams, members-only threads, members-only, like the one we did last night. He's not a member. He's never going to spend $1 to even be a... No, he will blindly miss those live streams because he ain't paying $1. He ain't going to pay $1. He is so cheap that his ass squeaks when he walks. He is so cheap. I saw him sit down on a couch that had some loose change on the cushions. He counted it up with his ass. He's so cheap, I swear, one time I saw him pick a dime up off the sidewalk with his butt cheeks in the middle of winter. I seen it happen. I swear to God. So he ain't spending $1. He ain't coming on the live stream. So we can go back to a ton of the adventurous stories. We can say all the stuff we want to say during the members only. Now that we did the members only with VidCon, a VidCon update and a Gen X Talks kind of, hey, here's what we found out, here's what we learned, here's where we're going, here's where we've been. And I had 4 segments written down. We got to 1. Yeah. Those of you that were there, we got to 1. I did not put it back up for broadcast. You guys cannot just go see it because you're members unless you're part of Patreon. I put it up on Patreon. So if you're a member of Patreon, the link is up there for the members only thread, part 1, and you can go see it there. So, but part 2, we need to do that. That was a good thing. And there's more stuff to say. I'll cover a little bit of it tonight, but some of the bigger things on there, some of the more tenuous things on there, we're going to have to, stop on. And then we can get into some of the stories that went along with that normal readers and listeners wouldn't be privy to. So let's talk to some of the people about some of those things when some of those opportunities present themselves. Now, let me go over here, and I'm going to have to fake my way through some of this. Some of the stuff that we share with everybody on our way to VidCon, we're trying to get out the door. You know, we're running late, not real late. We're pretty close to being on time, but we're doing our best to get where we're going. And Gen X mom, same story every time. She got to stop. What do you think she's stopping for right there? What do you think Gen X mom is stopping for? You can tell. What's a bag in her hand? She's coming out there like I caught her. Is that not the look of Bigfoot walking through the wilderness like she got caught? And it isn't just a cup of coffee. She got a bag. Now, you wonder why she's in there for so long. Just get your cup of coffee and let's go. In fact, she has the app. Order ahead so we can just grab it and go. No. She goes in there and she comes out with a bag full of stuff. And Starbucks isn't even her favorite place anymore. It's something called Coffee Bean. What's it called, sweetheart? Coffee Bean and Leaf or something? Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf is her place. That's where she prefers way more than Starbucks. So that's how our day started. We had to go do that. But we did finally get there. We got to Anaheim. We got to VidCon, and that's a picture of us in front of the big sign. And I'm not sure if the kid's pointing at me or at VidCon. I don't know. He's pointing somewhere, but he's pointing like like you guys need to be told, Dad, or you need to be told Anaheim, or you need to be told VidCon. I'm not sure what he's pointing at. I think it's just hereditary for some kids to throw their fingers up in the air when the camera's on. Whatever. So yeah, we did the stuff. I'll tell you one thing that was impressive for that night, and I can't know if I can find all these pictures in here. I'll try to. Let's see. I don't think I put them all in there. That would suck. Well, I know there's one in here, and there's Two Bear. And Two Bear, he shows up down there at Vid. Why are you screaming at me? He's screaming to me about the sheets from upstairs. He was offered to do sheets closer, and he doesn't want to do them closer. He's up upstairs in his room, Gen Z kids in his room. So he's just screaming up there, sheets, sheets, sheets. All right, I'll tell you what. Since he's screaming at me, we'll turn that off. We won't talk about Two Bear. We won't talk about what's going on. I had a cool story to tell you, but apparently there's something going on in the sheets that requires immediate attention. So much so that my youngest child is screaming at me from the top of the fucking stairs. All right, so let's go see what was so important. Damen Channel 499, my deep apologies on missing the last times you were on live. Shop was really busy. Don't ever apologize for working. Don't ever apologize for making money and feeding your family. Zoe Michelle, my harem, my harem, t-shirt is too tight. Maybe I should buy another. Hi, everyone. Okay, Zoe, if your t-shirt is too tight, now it's possible you might need another one, but I'll tell you what. Why don't you send me a picture, a couple different angles of this said t-shirt that is too tight. I'm literally a trained expert. I have degrees from several high-ranking universities in this type of observation. So Zoe Michelle, it's Gen X Dad at genxtalks.com. You send me those pictures. We can have a conversation. I don't want to waste time doing this, but if we have to do something interactive in a Zoom call where I can actually see live what's going on, I mean, I'm busy, but you know me. Give, never take. That's me. That's my motto. It's on my business card, or it should be. And if you need that, I'll be happy. We'll take some time. All right? So, Zoe, before you do anything, before you tear up the, send it back. Before you send it back, let's have the pictures. Let's figure this out. Let's do things correctly. Dom and Channel 499. I got my whiskey ready to solve the problems of the universe, having issues on which is the right way to put TP on the holder and which is the right. Yeah, I have been informed. We took a picture of something that the kid and I mounted on the wall in the bathroom with a shelf on it. And the point of, was it too high or too low? You guys all argued and voted on it. And the only thing we got consistently was that the toilet paper roll came over the front and everybody was happy. So I mean, if I'm going to go with what was learned here that night, because we've solved the mysteries of the universe, over the front. That's what I'm hearing. All right, what else we got in here? I'm still looking for what was so important that we had to stop what we were doing. Zach James, $5, customary offering for the general. Thank you, Zach. Happy to report I'm back on the East Coast. Books are ordered and will be on the way to you and the family soon. Thanks, Zach. Looking forward to that, my man. Appreciate it. Axel Five Sons, what are you drinking? Sweetheart, what am I drinking tonight? Woodford Heights. Figure out what that is, you can join me. That is what I'm drinking tonight. Paul McDonald. It isn't National My Give a Damn is Busted Day. Paul, that's a subcategory of everyday. I don't give a damn. My give a damn is busted. Yukon Raphael G. Cornelius. Yukon Cornelius. Member for 12 months, Legion of X. Cheers to the Gen X Nation. General Context makes and then he stopped. And that noise I made, if you don't understand that noise I made, if you can't pull that from your memory, you're out. Donovan Robbins, if you get the opportunity, give Traverse City Bourbon a try. You'll love it. I have to write that down. Don't think I've tried that one. Calvin Malhoum, this is the Car Guy Show. What size hat? You wear Pirates Pillbox hat. Oh, the Car Guy Show. Yeah, Calvin, I remember. I don't know what size hat do I wear? No, it's not that small. I'm a big old fat bulldog. I think it's 7 5/8. 7 3/4. Okay. And just so we're clear, yes, the Pirates Pillbox hat is a badass hat. The one that I can't find is like their batting helmet style, but not plastic. You know, the all yellow one with that big black P in the center. I know the Pillbox one with the stripes. I got it. Very rare, very cool. Love that one too. But the harder one to find for me that I'm still struggling with is all yellow with that ornate 70s black P. I see you guys think it's just because as a Dodger fan wears Dodger, loyal to Dodger, won't wear anything else. Not true. Not true. I'm also a product of Generation X. Someone sent me a very rare Phillies hat. You don't think I sport that sometimes? Absolutely I do. It's representative of a time, an era. I'm that guy. A 70s Pirates hat? Absolutely I'd wear it. I'm a Dodger fan. Yeah, when I go to Dodger Stadium, I'm wearing a Dodger hat. But I'm telling you, when I'm out and people go, whoa, look at, that's a nostalgia. That's a throwback hat. There's some respect there no matter what I'm wearing. There's some camaraderie there. We're building bridges here. We're crossing enemy lines and shaking hands. That's right. If nothing else, I am a team and country builder. That's right. Through the clever use of hats. You're welcome, America. That one was for free, and I'll continue to do so until I'm dead. All right, the time drops in $10. Turn my whole screen yellow. Any thoughts on our bodies being electric? Do we need to ground our bodies like walking barefoot? Yeah, you know what? I think you and I share the same YouTube threads on that. I saw that we're isolating ourselves from nature. You know, human beings are part of nature. We're part of the cosmic universe and the electricity that binds us all together that flows when we wear tennis shoes and socks. We're no longer grounded to the earth. We're not connected to the earth. We can't relate to the earth. And, you know, if you think that some of that is true. If you think that we have problems with our emotions and our mental stability and our psyche because we're not barefoot, I present as a 55-year-old piece of evidence my wife. That woman has been barefoot more than she's had shoes on her entire life. Remember, I've known her since she was 5 years old. And her mental and emotional stability is no better off than anybody else's. In fact, so I'm going to have to say no. We don't have to be grounded through barefoot and running our fingers through the shag carpet in 1974. Isn't helping. Just so you know. And just to be clear, shag carpet is a natural reoccurring element on the periodic table. Don't think I was throwing you askew with some sort of insulation factor. I was not. All right. And I don't know if she's flipping me off or not. I can't tell. I probably deserve it. Calvin, yeah, we talked about that. The time we talked about that. And in the sheet, now go back to your story. It's important to read the donations in time. Jesus, man. That's what the kid wrote. He just, go back to your story, Dad. I'm lost. Who knows what the fucking story is anymore? This story has come and gone. He's practicing to be a producer. You know, he got the job at 21 Gun Podcast. He did his interview with the boys down there, and he got the producer job. So he will, in a couple weeks, he'll start producing one of their podcasts with them. And so now he thinks he can produce this show and run my ass. I'll tell you, I don't gonna fall for that shit. You know, stinging producers around here. All right, let's get back to what we were fucking talking about. Now, there was another one here. So the day, I'll tell you what. So we had one of the things down at VidCon is they had a YouTube area, which sucked ass. The whole thing was dumb, except for one thing. When you got in there, you wait through this line, and you have the claw machine. And all of these 15 and 16 and 18 and 22-year-olds, ooh, the claw machine, a claw machine. Oh, my God, a claw machine. Look, they have an old nostalgic claw machine. And so we go through the line, and nobody gets anything. Nobody won. Why do you think? Nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars I've wasted, just like you guys, just like you men out there, on those fucking claw machines, trying to win some girl you're with a prize, trying to impress some girl on a $2 little stuffed animal, and you spent $85 in quarters on? Believe me, been there, done that. Guilty as charged. So I go in there, and of course everyone's like, "Oh, look at the big fat white guy." So, okay, let's let this old guy go. 2 quarters, prize. 2 quarters, prize. Oh, little standing ovation there. Everyone's clapping. I'm like, thank you very much. It's not the years on this planet, it's the miles. And I got some time under my belt, baby. So, yes, I did win. And where did it go to? I had the fucking thing up here. Damn it. God, the general's just fucking the show up today. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. That's why. Okay, go back over here. All right. There's your coffee. There's your stuff. Scroll down, scroll down. So what did I win? I had a thing right here. And the whiskey. Yeah, there's a hat I won. So, yeah, I won that hat. And it was all balled up with a rubber band around it. It was hard as a fucking rock. But I won it, and it had, I don't know what it is. It had some little smiling logo on it that had something to do with YouTube. And but boy, my wife sure looked cute in it. So she wore that, and I was a hero. For 50 cents on 2 quarters, I was a hero. That's the cheapest hero I've ever been, I got to tell you. Nachos. Oh, yeah. So, in between stuff, there's my goofy wife and her nachos. This turned into a fight. These nachos, you wouldn't think nachos would turn into a fight. Nachos turned into a fight. We had a little bit of an argument there, believe it or not. I'll tell you why. Because she goes and gets this big old thing of nachos. And I mean, he's just running with nachos. And there she is being silly about that. And she's like, do you want some? No. And she asked Two Bear. Two Bear was it, you want some? He goes, no, I'm good. Now she's mad because now she has to carry and eat, 3 pounds of nachos. And I said, you love nachos. I do. I just don't want any right now. Well, why don't you want nachos? I don't know. Maybe I'm not hungry. No, that's not the reason. Why don't you want nachos? Now, I knew the reason. But the reason I'm going to give her, which is it's a truthful reason why I don't want those fucking nachos, she's not going to accept it. And I told her the truth. I said, all right, because she grilled me about the fucking nachos. I said, listen, we're in the middle of a panel. There's people talking, there's stuff going on, and the day's not half over. I got my black shirt on, and I said, if I eat those goddamn nachos, I'm going to spill some that yellow cheese, orange cheese on me. And you can wipe it off, but it doesn't quite come off, and then it's just stained, and it leaves a mark on you. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't want to risk it. I'm like, just don't. And instead of my wife saying, oh, well, that's reasonable. Good call there. Yeah, the whole day, yeah, we don't want to get your shirt all. You know what she says? You know what she says about the nachos? Well, that's stupid. Why don't you just open up your big fat mouth and put the whole chip in there? You certainly can fit it in your mouth, and then you won't spill any. I said, well, I still might. Well, if you'd learn how to eat nachos right, if you could eat nachos correctly, you wouldn't look at me. I don't have anything. I'm like, okay, now I'm getting pissed. And you know why I'm getting angry? Because I don't want nachos. Now, I could see if I wanted nachos and she wouldn't share, all right, a guy might get angry about that. But I don't want any nachos. In fact, I'm trying not to have nachos. I'm not creating a problem for anybody. I'm actually backing away. I'm dismissing the whole fucking nachos. And here we are in an argument, and I'm getting pissed. This went on for a little while. But, the thing that was even better was that even with the nachos, because she turns her back, I'm like, fine, well, fuck you. I'll just I want to talk to you about nachos then. You just shut up. Fucking who gives a shit? No nachos for you. Yeah, no nachos for me. Great. So I didn't get any nachos. So she turns her back to me and just talks to Two Bear. Now, the cool thing about Two Bear, setting all the joking we've just done aside, the cool thing about Two Bear is that he was vigilant about what was going on. I didn't think anybody was going to attack me or give me any issues at all, and they didn't. But Two Bear never quit looking. That motherfucker was always in a position of scanning everybody that came close, that walked by. He repositioned himself standing there. I mean, just all the time, no matter what. How can I help you?
Mrs. Four has a special recommendation.
Mrs. Four?
She asked me.
I'm in the middle of a program.
You want me to not say yes to Mrs. Four?
No, you got to say yes to Mrs. Four.
She
all
asked
right.
if we could put the tip jar onto the pictures.
I don't know how to do that.
One click.
Taking us back to our Sesame Street.
2 clicks. 3 clicks.
What are you doing?
4 clicks.
All right, I'll take it from there. I'll decide. Okay, can I get back to the story now? That is 2 times in a Two Bear story you fucked with me. It's almost like two. You know what? No, you don't. You don't want Two Bear. You don't want any Two Bear stories.
Two Bears Donuts in the podcast, and I will not stand for it.
What those shitty donuts from the car show? Oh my God, you're fucking with me over the donuts from the car show?
Amazing. I'm a donut connoisseur.
Those were not Krispy Kreme donuts. Those were some day old Albertsons donuts. No, I'm just telling you what Mom wanted, and Two Bear failed. He came with some 2-bit offering. Yeah. No, he didn't. And every time I try to tell a Two Bear story, you interrupt me. So you obviously don't like Two Bear. You're racist towards Two Bear. That's all it is.
Pineapple Day, and you haven't told one story about
because you guys all fucked me on Trippy Dippy Pineapple Day. Yeah, whatever. They're your staff, so I'm leaving. Okay, so I have a story to get to. I was trying to tell you something here. How Two Bear was like on call. He was on point. He was taking care of everything. However, I did notice, what is this going on here? Wow, nobody complained about that noise? Desktop Juno, turn it off there. That's odd. Wow. There's some stuff going on here on the screen with oh wow. You guys aren't hearing any noises or anything because it shows the volume all the way up on stuff. All right. So anyway, but that also means that every time that my wife left to go do something, Two Bear left too. He left with her. All of a sudden, protecting my big, fat, natural white ass didn't seem so important. Yeah, he just takes off. And I'm not lying. He's gone. Now, Two Bear's a guy. I can't pin PayPal. I don't have it. I don't have it. I can't get it. Go figure it out. Leave me alone. The show's already started. Two Bear's a straight up, but he's a guy. So he's very clever. He keeps his distance. He goes and puts his arm around Gen X's mom to keep her away from when he's in line and moving her forward, puts his hand in the small of her back, just like a gentleman does. Up until he's had 3 beers. And then Two Bear a little bit forgets where he's at and what he's doing, and he just kind of goes with the flow. Now they got me looking for stuff. This is not my job to go looking for shit in the comment section. Streamlabs Gen X. No, he put the Streamlabs Gen X Talks tip thing up there for PayPal. That's the wrong one you're trying to get me to go do. So now I'm not looking anymore. All right. That link is the incorrect link. Anybody's trying to use the PayPal Streamlabs link. I'm not sure why they're doing it. Well, you know why? Because Gen X Mom's not in the sheets, and everybody's fucked up tonight. All right. Plus, they're all trying to have me do their work, which ruins the flow. Can you feel the flow getting ruined? I can. In fact, guess what time it is? That's right. Dawson's got one. Team Two Bear. Team Hansy Three Bears Two Bear. Hansy Three Bears Two Bear. Try saying that 10 times fast. I'll drink. But you should too. What are you doing back here
I
again?
want you to pin it before the show.
It's not the right one. That's the...
I sent it at the beginning of the show. And then I also sent it right here, too.
What is that?
The correct one.
That doesn't look right.
That's right.
I don't think it's right. Well, if nobody can pay with PayPal, you're going to know why. All right. So we're moving on from the rest of the conversation. And yes, that is Hansy Three Bears Two Bear. And it's a true story. Or at least it's true. It's a story. All right. Oh, dum. So what do we do else? There was some other stuff. Yeah, that was the thing. And there was the picture we saw from before. And guess who took that picture of Two Bear in his big green hat? Of course, Gen X Mom. And I mean, the camaraderie, the companionship, the love and admiration that Two Bear was showing Gen X Mom during that whole event. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it would have made Lionheart very, very jealous. Oh, it would have. All right. And my wife is standing over here. Are you talking to Mike?
Hello. Hello,
Yeah.
hello, everyone. I'm taking a break tonight, just running PayPal.
You are in your jammies with a big comfy blanket.
It's cold in here.
You still have a beautiful smile.
Thank you. We received a PayPal. By the way, Two Bear was wonderful. We had a great time together.
I don't
We had
want to
fun.
hear any more than that. Just stop there. Go ahead.
We laughed.
Yeah,
We had a
I'm
good
sure
time.
You did. Go ahead.
And we talked about you behind your back.
I told you. I told you I don't hear anymore.
$50 from Mrs. Four. Fat man office chair.
She said fat man. Did you see that look?
Somebody just clicked that. It's good.
He just screamed. Oh, yeah, Lion's going to get me back for that one. So is Triple.
Oh my gosh, I just received another one.
Yeah.
$50 from Mrs. Four. Thin man office chair. And the link ZEO puts up works. You were just told.
I was just told.
You were just schooled by Mrs.
Now,
Four.
hold on a second here. Hold on a second now. Now, calm yourself down there, Mrs. Four Watton. We have to take issue with your performance, lady. I must attest. I did buy I bought one chair. The Mrs. Four, you and I were talking about that. I pulled together because there's been some donations for the big fat guy chair. And I got the chair. And while I was working on some stuff for the show today, I had the kid put it together. And I said, okay, just make sure you get all the nuts and bolts. And the first thing he tells me, Dad, there's spare parts. True story. I'm like, there's spare parts? Yeah. And I said, so you didn't forget some nuts and bolts. You're telling me there's spare parts. Now, as a man who's been on this planet 55 years, half a century of training tells me they don't give away spare parts. They don't give away tools. There's not extra things in there. But I'll be goddamned if there isn't a little baggie called spare bolts. Now I'm starting to worry about the quality of this chair. If in the normal operation of this chair, if I'm going to start losing some parts, don't worry, we got you covered, because when the nuts and bolts fly out, we have more for you. So he wasn't wrong on that. And I asked him to check the functionality of the chair. You guys know chairs go up and down, they tilt back, they swivel, that's it. He can't get the chair to tilt back. He's trying everything to get the chair to tilt. He can't get the chair to tilt back. He's doing anything he can. Chair won't tilt back. and pull the lever, push the lever, pull the lever, push the lever. Chair won't go back. We're looking at the description in the instructions. We're looking at the thing online where we bought it. Shows that you pull the lever, do the chair, and he goes, "Something's wrong. No, wrong." I said, "Okay, well, let me just sit in it and see what happens." So I pull the chair around here, right to this spot, and I sit in it, and I fall forward. The whole chair leans forward, and I fall. Boom. Now, before I tell anybody anything further, what do you think went wrong during assembly? Just with the information I've given you. We could not tilt back in the chair. When I sat down in the chair, I fell forward. What do we think happened? Anybody? There we go. Just the tiff. He put the seat on backwards. Drop him. The seat's on backwards. Grateful Eddie put the base on backwards. Seat on backward. Now, you see? Do you see where I'm going with this? You guys weren't even here, and you already knew what happened. And as I'm falling forward, pinning with my fat ass up against this table and this computer, and he's standing over here, I looked at him and go, "What do you think this means?" And he does this. I don't know. Could you, Dad, help me out with that? What did I said, now, if it doesn't lean backwards, but it does lean forward, and the chair is supposed to lean backwards, it's not supposed to lean forward. What do you think's going on here? And all of a sudden, he, with an amazing amount of clarity, he looked at me and said, "They assembled the base wrong at the factory, didn't they, Dad?" "Yeah, son, the machine that builds 5,000 of these a day just made up its mind one time and said, 'Fuck it, let's turn the seat around just for something to do. We're going to fuck with those boys over there in the US of A.' No, they didn't do shit wrong." So he took the chair back. He figured out what was fucked up, turned everything around, and the chair works. So Mrs. Ford, I do have a chair, but I did not like it here. I'm on glass. I'm sitting on glass, and I'm sitting on glass. I'm rolling around on glass, and I couldn't. Every move I made, if I reached for something here, it pushed me this way, so I get back straight. I reach for something over there, and all of a sudden my chair rolls backwards. Fuck! I spent the whole time with my upper core being tight like this to try to hold the chair in place while I was fucking moving around. I'm exhausted. I'm a big fat white guy, and I think I did 300 sit-ups already and I haven't done shit but sit in an office chair for 2 hours. So we swapped it out. I put it upstairs at my desk. It might work okay because that's the one that has the holes coming through it. And if it does work, then I'll get another one for the studio because it's just what Mrs. Four was looking for. She was looking for a big, black, comfy office chair that was easy to match other chairs to look like it. We have to get the girl version for my wife, for her natural white ass to fit in that comfortable. We got to do that. The kid, we don't give a shit. It can be made out of cardboard, but it has to match in color. This was an easy color to match. So we may get another one. And I will try it upstairs and report back. But Mrs. Four, we did make the first purchase of the first one, and it is a big, fat, 500-pound guy chair. And I'm nowhere near 500 pounds. No. So we're good on that respect. We did keep the extra nuts and bolts just in case, but everything's back to normal now. I didn't want to say, Mrs. Four, how else would you want me to describe my wife's ass? Sitting comfortably in that chair. I have to say something, and I can't say, what the fuck are you doing?
Be real.
Oh my God, this thing he does called Be Real. It goes off, and he has like a minute to take a picture from the front of his camera, his front-facing phone camera, and the back one, and he has to post it on this website. And there's millions of people to do it. You have to do it wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got to do it. And so he comes over and he's like, he runs up and takes one of me, one of him. Then he runs, and then the next day he'll have to do two and does one of the dog, one of him, in the pool, out of the pool, in the shower, driving the car. Doesn't matter. Be Real it commands him, and whatever's going on, he has to obey. Irritating. Fuck like that. It's just like being fucking married. Well, you're not. To a phone. Zoe Michelle 499. I'll send a pic before they get reduced. No, you're getting a breast reduction? Okay, on behalf of all men and God, if you're getting a breast reduction, you're saying that God made a mistake. Now, Zoe, I'm just reading what you said. 49. I'll send a pic before they get reduced. Your shirt about breast reduction. You saying God made a mistake? You saying God's wrong? Because there's a verse in the Bible that says, "Thou shalt not touch the tatas." I'd have to go look it up. I don't have it memorized. You know, I'm not that enamored with boobs. I don't care that much. But I'm letting you know that you're making a decision, Zoe, that may keep you from heaven. And I'm trying to save you from that. You know, I don't want you. You know, I don't want you sitting next to me in hell with a breast reduction. It's not fair to me or anyone else. So we'll talk about that later. So make sure you send me that email. Nick Olson, what is your take on gender being taught to children? I don't care. Teach them there's male and female. That's it. I'm tired of all the other stuff. You can, you know, I got into an argument and the kid actually recorded one of his ambush videos. I don't think he's posted it for you guys. I got into an argument with someone in person and they were talking to me. I said, look, you can't just wish for a new gender. You can't close your eyes and wish and have a new gender appear on you. That's not how it works. And they insisted that it did. And I said, okay, well, so why don't you close your eyes and wish really hard, and then just when you're done wishing and you've convinced yourself that you are a new gender, one of 300 new genders, just as soon as you're done, pull open your britches and look down and see if anything's actually changed. And they said, well, what is that going to prove? I said, it proves a very old Generation X saying, you can want and wish in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one gets full first. True story. All right. So you teach kids the science, and then you can pretend whatever gender you want to be at 18, 19, 20. You can pretend to be an attack helicopter if you want to. I don't care. You know, but you're not going to teach kids that that's a normal part of society. You guys who think that way, you're like less than 1% of the population of this country. But the way you guys advertise yourselves and the way you guys scream at the top of your lungs, you think you were 50% of the country, and you're not. So quit pretending that you're trying to tell these children how half the country thinks. Half the country agrees with you just so you'll shut up. Everybody knows that you're not right. Even liberals go, oh, my God. Okay, yeah, 27 genders, that's okay with me. And then when they go home, they shut their door and go, what the fuck is going on out there? Okay, everyone's being polite. You should try it yourselves. Where am I? Loud one, $21. Fuck the jar. I'm still driving, a few hours left, so not reading the chat, just listening on the side. Have a great night, everyone. I'll try to jump in Discord after the live. General for the Whiskey Fun. Thank you very much, Loud one. Doing his new production run. I'm digging that. Yukon Raphael, G Cornelius. What does the G stand for? Because the animation never told me. And now I want to know. Cheers to the production. General support for the Whiskey Fun. Thank you very much. Josh Maddox, does someone just send the fat signal? That wasn't a bat signal. Did someone just send the fat signal? Now there's going to be some Batman spotlight animated GIF image or some meme that's got some fat guy silhouette or something. Oh my God. Where are we? I had stuff to say. There was some really important stuff going on here, and you guys have ruined it all. So thank you very much for that. Let me go back to here. Doom, 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 doom. All right, the jars, the Jens Talks, stuff here. All right. I don't know if I can find it or not. Let me see. Screenshot, desktop. Okay. Desktop clip. Let me make sure that the volume's down on that or off, because I don't need to include that one there. Merci. Still in there. All right. I think the volume's off. And I'm going to describe what happened earlier today. I'm going to take a drink, and then I'm going to tell you what happened. There's a video. And it's not going to be a very good video because it's a security camera video and I'm pretty far out in the corner of the video. But it's real and it happened today and I haven't told anybody. And does anybody remember the story of when the guy came over, the Mexican guy came over my back wall, got lost and got hemmed up in the garden and broke the fence post? And the dogs attacked him, and then I went out there and very oddly between the blind spots of the camera, the guy got nudged a few times with some heavy object. Remember that story? A couple years ago now. So we go out there and handled that situation, and that was done, and it made for a good story. And we had a few security camera pictures of that. And today, just a couple hours ago, the kid comes walking in, and he goes, Dad, remember the guy who went in the garden, fucked them all up? And he goes, he's in the front yard now on the wall. And I said, are you sure it's the same guy? He goes, yeah, it turns out that's so-and-so's dad from down the road. I was like, okay. And this time he's not high or drunk or whatever. Now he's sober. So now we can have a few words where he's going to remember. So I went out there. Ready? And in the words of Jack Sparrow, why is the rum gone? Because it is. That was my last drink. All right. Which also means until it refills, that's the last story. Hint, hint, everyone. All right. So where is this thing? I may have to cover my ass up so you can see it. All right. Can you guys see me out there in the top corner right there? You can see me yelling at the guy. I'm not doing a very good job of that, am I? This will replay. It's on a loop, I think. It'll replay. Let me make sure. Yep, it's on a loop, so it'll start again. All right, so I'm at the wall. There you go. See, I'm walking out there. It's going to replay. I go out there because the guy's hanging over the wall. Unfortunately, at this angle, he's right about where the street light is. And I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you remember me? You jumped in my backyard. You and I had a little tussle about a year and a half ago. And see me jump right there? I'm trying to grab him. I tried to grab that motherfucker and pull him over the wall. Because, my fat ass, because when I was on the sidewalk, he's like, why don't you come over here and do something, man? Why don't you meet me halfway? I'm like, you're on the fucking wall. I'll walk over all the way to you. Just come over the wall. You got to be halfway. Well, come halfway, motherfucker. Come halfway. I said, I'll come all the way over. Now climb over the wall. Well, why don't you come over here? Dude, I'm 400 pounds. You know I can't climb the wall. Come on, come down here. And you can see me jump up and try to grab him. I tried to pull that motherfucker down over that wall. And instead, I had to settle for a little verbal tongue lashing I had to give that motherfucker. But, man, I'm telling you, I almost grabbed him because he was pointing doing this, and I jumped up there and I was trying to grab his hand or his arm. I almost got him, and he goes, "What are you fucking doing?" I said, "Because if I grab you, I'm gonna fucking pull you over this wall and run your head up and down this brick wall until there ain't nothing left." And he says, "You just come over the wall." I said, "Come on, man. I just want to talk to you. Just come over the wall." He goes, "Fuck you, man. Why don't you come over here?" I go, "Look, dude, first you wanted me to come halfway," which I did. I even came all the way, which I did. Now I'm trying to get up to get you, which I am, and you're still chicken shit. That's how the day went. That's how that part went. And finally, I said, "You know what? Fuck you." And I called him all sorts of names. Nothing derogatory, nothing about his race. And I called him some female genitalia and some other stuff, this close screaming to him. He just wouldn't buy. There's nothing I could do to get that. I was trying to insult everything I could think of to get him to be so enraged he'd come over the wall. Just wouldn't do it. So we came back in the house, and the kid goes 2 doors down to where the family is, that this guy's got a restraining order, not let it be around him because he did something to the kids or something. And they got in a car 2 minutes from when I walked away. They were in a car looking for him, and they came back to the house. "We're sorry the guy was bothering you again." I said, "No problem at all. I'm fine." But he had made it like almost a mile down the road by the time they found him. They got in the car, drove around looking for him. He was a mile down the road. He was gone. So as soon as I left, he thought I was going to go get in a truck or do something and find him. He fucking booked it. He was gone. So yeah, that's how part of my day started. All right, what else was there here? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there's the Trippy Pineapple thing right there. I was trying to put the Trippy Pineapple logo behind there in place of that one, but staff sucks. Every one of them fuckers. Okay, another one for you here. If you are in Discord, there is a secret room that you can get in if you're a Patreon member or if you're a YouTube member, if your name's in green, all you have to do is follow the steps for getting in there, and you can get in there. Go to the community section. The kid made a video for you. It's a tutorial, and it's free. If you're already a member, it's free. Just go there, because over the next few weeks, some great stuff's going to happen. Now, I'm not telling you that it's Gen X Mom's OnlyFans page. No. Can't do that for $1, but there'll still be some cool stuff in there. You got to go check it out. All right, where was I? Let's see. Turn off that one. Turn this one on. Yeah, you guys know Hagen grocery stores? Not Hegeman, Hagen, Hagan. Yeah, this is Hagen. It's written right there in the middle. I can't read it very well from here. But as you check out in their self-checkout now, they have just instituted a thing where you can donate money to charities, and one of their big ones in there is the Society to be Just and Whole. What's it called? The Northwest Justice Project, NJP. And they're specialized in race equality and justice initiative. For a society to be just and whole, we must work together to undo systematic oppression in its many forms. Which, of course, they'll tell you what's the oppression. They'll tell you what the forms are. They'll let you know if you're being oppressive, and you can donate money here. Now, I'm not sure how popular the store is, because this story just came out. But if they're trying to follow the business model of Bud Light and of Target, I got to say they're on the right path. Now, that's just me. I'm a dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert. What do I know? But if we start hearing stories in a couple days about this particular grocery store having issues, I think we can bring it back to this point right here, and we can point and go, hey, yeah, over here, it's this machine right here. We saw that coming. No, I've just been around a long time. I just used some common sense, and I figured it out. I thought I'd tell you guys, but you didn't listen. No, it's right here. It's this machine. This is where it started. Letting you know. That's if I ever get invited to the shareholders meeting. I can walk in and point to this picture and go, hey, here's the fucking culprit. Then they can find out who did it. That's on their end. All right, what else? Hoosiers. That is Trippy Dippy Pineapple's movie for Monday night. We just watched The Bad News Bears. Man, I can't tell you how much I missed that movie until I saw it again. What a great movie. Hoosiers I just saw recently. It was super powerful when I first saw it. Probably not going to be so much now to me, just because filming is better these days. Better angles, better editing, better stuff. And this is a movie that desperately needed a lot of that because it's basketball. But the story is still strong. The story is still powerful. And Gene Hackman's in it, one of my favorite actors of all time. So Monday night on Discord, we can all watch the movie. It's free. Just come check it out. We're all sitting around having popcorn together. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, and this made it up there. You guys know that a couple times, 5 or 6 times now, I've been on the 21 Gun podcast. I've done several guest spots on different places, but I've been here 5 or 6 times. Great bunch of guys. This particular episode, I had to try to distinguish myself as Generation X and distinguish myself as Gen X Talks. I had to represent amongst 9 people. So there was 8 other people that I was trying to carve out some attention. The guy in the center was a comedian. So he had these zippy one-liners coming and going, yap-a-doo, and he had special effect. He hit a button and it was a burp. He had a buzzer. He had a bell, and that was his go-to move. I was like, God, fuck. I didn't have any of those. And anybody who wants to take some time to listen to it is a very interesting podcast to be part of. It's kind of long, but if you're going to fall asleep to something, you can fall asleep to that and listen to it. You let me know if you think that I held my own on that one, because that was tough to distinguish yourself amongst many. All right, what else was there? Here's a good one for you. We had dinner at VidCon, and there's the round out there. We had Gen X Mom and Two Bear and Trippy Dippy Pineapple. Elias is Gen Z Kids, one of his best friends, and Two Bears in the corner. No sign or introduction needed for the handsome man in the Brooklyn hat, and we just kind of scrunched in there for the pictures. Notice we went there. We were all wearing our Gen X Talk t-shirt. We all represent. That was kind of fun to go down there and have people recognize us. That was a good thing. The same picture. Doom. There's one without all the words on there. You know, I will tell you this. This was the first dinner, the first staff dinner we've had anywhere. And I'm talking about back in Long Beach when we met the Baconator. I'm talking about Vegas where we all got hammered the first night we were there. This was the only dinner where we actually got some stuff done. And I'll tell you why. Because Two Bear and I were talking. Everybody else was fucking off, but Two Bear and I, we actually started, you learn this, and we talk about that, move some pieces around the board. The only dinner of all time to ever get anything even marginally accomplished, it was because of senior staff members like myself and Two Bear. You're welcome, everybody. We got some stuff done there. All right. So there was where was it? As a Paramount did a pretty good job. They put together this big fortress, big log cabin looking thing, and you walk in, you go through all this stuff. I didn't go through it, but the kid did. It was pretty big, and it was pretty impressive. They did a good job. They put some time and money into it. And so one of the things was, and since there's certain words you're not allowed to use anymore because gay does no longer mean happy, so I will use the word flamboyant. And there is Gen Z kid. Is he on an iCarly scooter or something? He's very flamboyant there. And it didn't even take a lot of acting. It was more like method acting, typecasting, if you will, to get him to. And I'm not sure if that's an oversized scooter or he's just a really little kid. But boy, he was sure loving the color and the theme tonight. I'll tell you. What else do we have in there? There was some other stuff. There was I'm not even sure what this was about. There was two things in here. It was called School Spirit. I guess that's a thing on Paramount. That's a scary show, School Spirit. So there's this video walking down School Spirits. There it is, walking down through the locker room, and that's Trippy and the kid and Elias. And then they do this because clearly, when you're in high school and you get scared, men jump in each other's arms, or at least that's what they do in today's generation. Not when I was in high school, not so much. This one I thought was kind of cool. They showed this one of his friend Elias, and I'll enlarge that for you. Him climbing. He's climbing up a mountain there. And I thought, that's a pretty cool video. They actually filmed that on location. And they gave you a brief thing right there where you could see, I was going to say, they actually filmed it where the stars are going over the Paramount Rock there. But then as you can see, when they did this and they put it together, it was a green screen, and they show it real quick, and that's what they did. So that was kind of cool. They got to do a few of those things. And so that was good. Now, you guys might be thinking I'm screaming at this dude. He was the instructor. He was the lecturer with the little blue lanyard thing on there, and that's me doing one of these numbers. But I went up after every lecture. I went up after every seminar, and I went to them, and I tried to talk to them like, look, I didn't get all the stuff I needed from your lecture, so stay right here and finish talking to me. And they did. Every time I went up to the front, they were very kind and very gracious. They did a lot of help. I gained a super amount of knowledge because you can ask direct questions that lead to direct answers, and that gives you room for your next question. It was very good because in a group setting, you don't get as much as you know, and this worked out well. So there's a thing. And at the end of the day, how does it always end up? Glass of whiskey and a glass of wine. And the whiskey was mine, the wine was my wife's. And every time we're on vacation, every time we're going someplace, and the crowd dies down and we go back to our room or we shuffle off to a corner after we've done our bit for God and country, we always settle back to just us with the same two drinks. I get a whiskey, she gets wine, and then we just kind of relax and settle in and talk about our evening and how things went and, what we do different, what we do the same. But we've been doing that for a lot of years now, and it always ends the same. This is as much a picture of the two of us as a picture of the two of us, which we're very happy about that. We're not upset about that at all. All right, did I miss anything in here? Did the how of the clock, got that one. And you can go questions, I got that one too. And just mom nachos, I got that one. And Two Bear run around, and Three Bears, Two Bear. VidCon 3, yeah, there really wasn't much. Oh, there's one for you. I was trying to think of a good caption for this. This is our first night's dinner, and Trippy was there. I was gonna put a little thought bubble up there, but everything I could think of was just dirty, because he's looking at something, and I can't tell what he's thinking. It looks like he's thinking, I'm not going to go because it's worse than thought bubbles if I say it aloud. But this Trippy Drippy Pineapple doing his thing. The first dinner there, he made it for that. Boom, 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 boom. Just so you guys know, the new podcast is up. And it's up everywhere. It's been up for a few days now. You can go check it out. We're moving along, as you can tell. The Starbucks, Coffee Bean, everything in the food court, everything in the picking. Yeah, that's the kid. Is just part of VidCon. There was a lot of kids there, a lot of people there. He got on a panel. The kid got on a panel, and each room was filled with anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people asking questions. Some of the questions were for every member in the panel. Some were set up just for him. The person running it was the girl in the Levi jacket, and she had some direct questions for him because of his level of followers and subscribers and time under his belt of doing this. And if you guys want to know some specific answers he gave, you're going to have to watch the members only live stream, because they hit him with some LGBTQ questions, knowing that the channel was slightly on the conservative side. We'll get into how he answered those later. Boom, 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 boom. Got that one. Got that one. Dum, dum, dum. That was about it. I think we're about done with that for right now. So there's some of the pictures, some of the stories brought to you by Kodak and Technicolor. So now you got to see them firsthand in 3D. All right, let me go back between the sheets over here, see what I missed. Dama and Channel 999, the pegboard thing you did, I laughed so hard. I shared it throughout the shop. Me being the boss, they can't give me BS on doing foolish stuff. Yeah, he brought that on himself. There was so many people there, and everyone was using the little pegboard to do their stuff. And finally, he gets the people in charge. Could you make them stop for 1 minute? We're going to film a video, and well, then you have to tag us in the video, and on and on. And so then he just goes, he took a big piece of cardboard and closed off all the stuff. And then he's like, hey, Dad, we're going to do the video for them. Like, there's people fucking standing around. Don't you? And you saw the rest. Dom and Channel 499. If I want to invite you to an event, do I go through email? Would love to have you come. It's near you in October. Then it needs to be at the beginning of October, because we're going to be on the East Coast. You need to email anything you want us to do. If you want me to appear in person or on a podcast, or the kid in person or on a podcast, you want to do a live stream or a Zoom call or something, you just have to email genxmom@genxtalks.com. And if it works out, then we'll show up. We would be more than happy to. We don't charge you for those things. If you want us to go and do something, we'll do it. And Tech Dumb Dad says hydrate, and he's not wrong. Where's Trippy Pineapple when you need him? Conservative Patriot, welcome to the Legion of X. Now, I didn't see that go by. Please tell me when someone signs up, when someone becomes a member, and I miss it, when it scrolls across that screen, please tell me you guys said something. Please tell me you guys said that welcome to the program. Well, because if I miss it, I really need you guys to do your part on that. Heavy Hard Drive, $5. What are the most positive things happening in the world right now for people that people don't think of? There's tons. The positive things are the two that come to my mind are both social issues. Generation Z is standing up to the situational norm in schools and society. They're not buying everything that's being crammed down their throat. There's no leader. There's no website. There's no manifesto. There's nothing where someone says, okay, let's all organize Generation Z. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to say. They're not doing that. There's no central location. There's no head of the snake to cut off. No, these guys, in some sort of weird reminiscent of the late 60s and early 70s, they're just having a movement of stop teaching us about global warming and talk about math. You're a math teacher. Quit talking about your politics and just teach English. And they walk down the street. You do genders and abortion. Like, yeah, I'll figure that out on my own. I'll make up my own mind. Leave me alone. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. That pendulum is swinging. I think it's very underreported, although now you can see other people talking about the surface movement coming up. How many parents and young kids have been going to school board meetings? How many have been getting elected to city councils? How many have been taking a stand about curriculums? Yeah, stuff you never heard of with the woke movement and the Me Too movement and Save the Whales movements. When all those things were in full force 18 months ago, everybody was quiet, and now they're not. Now they're not. those two movements tied together from the Generation Z, and I'm not talking about Tide Pod eaters and bottle flippers, not those guys. The ones that count, the ones that matter, the ones that have just this, I don't know if it's a rebellious streak, like, fuck you, I'm not listening, fine. Whatever stops them from listening, I'm okay with at this point. I don't give a shit. But they're just not buying it anymore. They're thinking on their own. They're watching their older millennial brothers and sisters get fucked by the system, and they're not buying it. I'm not talking 8-year-olds. I'm talking about 15, 18, 19-year-olds that are going, wait a second, man. This isn't panning out like everybody said. And they're catching on. And the other movement, the second part of that I told you, is parents standing up and taking their curriculums back, taking their schools back. It's happening every day. You want something to be positive about? Be positive and supportive and go attend those things. And when you see something on the internet, if that's all you're going to do is do stuff from a keyboard, then make a comment, draw out a comment, say a paragraph on in support. It helps. It really does. I'm just letting you know. All right. What did I miss in there? Some of the she's Telemachus, your voice is so smooth and soothing. Now, I'm tempted to talk right now, but I got to be careful. I don't know who Telemachus is. I mean, I got to be careful. I may be attracting someone that I don't want to attract. Now, Telemachus, wherever you are, I can turn this down, but I can't turn it completely off. I'm sorry about that. You are going to be attracted no matter what I do. I can try to mess it up and disconfigure, but in the end, I am who I am. I got through that with a straight face. Shut up. All right. So Josh Maddox, member for 15 months, bottom of the Glass Nation. This is a family, a tight-knit family growing bigger every day. At that, grateful for each one of you. Best ever bar. Thank you very much, Josh. And thanks for coming up with that phrase that we kyped your doobies and put it on T-shirts. And we've sold 11. So we're raking in the cash and you can't stop us. Look, I got to go. There was more stuff to say, but I have a very attractive wife sitting over here who's waiting for my undying devotion and attention to be personally placed on her lap, and I'm going to go give it to her in a few minutes. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for checking us out. All the intimate details of VidCon, which I did not give you, we will do on a members-only thread. So if you want to see that live stream, at some point, you're going to have to sign up. It's $1. Sorry. $12 a year. Come on. Skip one cup of coffee at Starbucks, you've paid for your whole year. That's the way I view it. All right, listen, I got to go. Thank you guys for tuning in. Not sure where you came from around this little blue marble, but I appreciate your time and effort and energy. Wherever you came from, AM, FM, Sirius XM, or maybe on the Armed Service Radio Network. Thanks for tuning in. We love and miss you guys between shows. Go to Discord. That's where we're going to be. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. And I said it. Can't stop me.